I guess.
Hi folks, welcome to the GSP podcast. We've got a very different version today. We have 5 people on. So we have the whole Strongwoman Ireland crew.
But Niamh isn't here.
Minus Niamh. Niamh isn't here. But we had them all in the house today and we had our podcast person here as well. So I said, let's get them on and have a chat. So will you all just start with you, Mary, introduce yourselves real briefly and who you are in the sport, I guess.
I'm Mary, I'm the treasurer of Strongwoman Ireland, and I also compete.
I'm Kayla. I do a lot of the social media for Strongwoman Ireland, and I used to compete till I got pregnant.
Grow in one first.
I'll be back.
Sharon?
I am Sharon. I do a bit of social media and website for Strongwoman Ireland. I still compete, but probably not until next year.
She's not pregnant.
She's
I'm not pregnant either, actually, yeah.
And I'm Ayshea. I'm chair and one of the founders of Strongwoman Ireland. And I'm also not competing for the rest of the year.
So all eyes are on Mary, really.
Yeah.
We're living our dreams through Mary.
Mary's represented.
Yeah.
So tell everyone what is Strongwoman Ireland?
Okay, so anyone wants to
Can someone tell me?
Oh, okay. I suppose what is Strongwoman Ireland? Okay, so we founded Strongwoman Ireland back just before COVID. Wanted a safe space, I suppose, initially on Facebook, and a group environment for strongwomen in Ireland to be able to, if they had questions or queries, wanted to try and grow the sport. It was really, really young at the stage. And it just grew from there. It grew to, basically what we wanted to have was an environment that was run by the women, the strong women of Ireland, for the strong women in Ireland. It is and still is a little bit, a very male-dominated sport, and we had a lot of male promoters who probably weren't really pushing the women's side of the sport in the right direction. So Strongwoman Ireland was born out of that to say, okay, there was a lot of, I suppose, comments from a lot of the male promoters at the time, not yourself, obviously, where, why would we run competitions for women because they don't turn up, and it was just shite, basically. There was a lot of politics and stuff going on, and not enough opportunities and not enough push in the right direction. So we said, okay, if we have an organisation that's run by women for women, then promoters can't say, the women don't step up and they don't do what they should be doing. So since that, we have grown into committee of 5. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like committee of 5. Yeah. So, and what we do is we promote the sport, we run competitions, we sell merch, and all of the money that we get from those goes back into the female side of the sport. So the whole point of the money side aspect of it was obviously to be able to put up good competitions and have kit and stuff and put the bar up for women's side of the sport, but also for a fund for female strength athletes who were looking to travel abroad, because I suppose in the beginning I knew how difficult it was because I couldn't get sponsorship, nobody's supporting you. This is a hobby sport essentially, and it's really expensive, like your entry fee, your travel to other countries. So all of the money we get goes back into, we don't take a wage, we barely take expenses if we're traveling around the country. Everything goes back into the pot for women to actually come to us and go, okay, right, I'm traveling to OSG Europe, so I'm traveling to the Worlds and I could really do with a bit of help. So that's what we're trying to do, and eventually we would really hope to be able to do like a proper sponsorship package for an athlete. So if they're going to Worlds and they really can't afford it and they're not getting sponsored, then we'd be able to go, okay, like here's your flights, here's your accommodation or something. That would be my goal, and I think the women would agree with that. It's to support the women to be able to do great things, because it can be really off-putting when you're putting all your time and your effort and your energy into your training and you're trying to work full time and you might have family and kids, and the next thing you've got to try and find the money to pay to go off and compete at Worlds because you're representing your country. So it's just to try and make it a little bit easier for them, but also like to promote to the younger generation, and the merch that we have out there, the t-shirts are flying out. We have other bits of merch. We had a meeting there before we came in here, talking about the route we want to go, the competitions that we're having for this year, and I suppose the vision we had for the next year to grow again. And that's me just rambling on, so you lot can talk now.
Yeah, who wants to add to this?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's much to add.
I think there's also seminars that we do as well. We've done a few of them, because a lot of people still ask questions like, what is strongman and what is strongman, and how can they get involved and what can they do. So we've ran seminars where we've spoke about what we do and who we are, what strongwoman and strongman is, because our seminars aren't always exclusive to women. We're very open to, like, everybody needs to know about this if they want to be involved. And then at the end of most of our seminars we do a hands-on workshop so people get a chance to try out equipment and try out events within reason, to have a taste of it. And then from there, we're always asked, when's our next comp going to be, or when can they compete, and when can they sign up? So it kind of brings in more people into the community as well from there.
If someone wanted to have one of these workshops or seminars in their gym, how would they go about doing it?
Catch us on our socials. No, seriously, contact us through like our Facebook page or our Instagram page, but also
Email
through our email, which is just strongwomanireland@gmail.com, and just chat to us and we'll see what we can do to sort it out.
Yeah, I think that could be massively beneficial if people were interested to get you down there and learn as much as possible from you all.
We've done a Q&A, didn't we, before? We did a live Q&A. That was actually quite
good
fun. We probably have to do that again.
Do you have an FAQ on the website for like stuff like that?
Do we have an FAQ?
I don't think so, actually.
Actually, yeah, just came to mind.
Actually, yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah.
Decent. Even for, like you said, what is strong woman and what is this?
Yeah. We'll work on that.
Yeah.
Homework.
You are Matty and I say
It seems like we're here to brainstorm.
What else can we do?
I suppose this year was a little bit up in the air because Mary decided to head off to.
Very selfish.
Mary
man.
Mary's been working away in the Netherlands, and then Kayla decided to get pregnant, right? Sharon,
I'm just useless.
Well, I got pregnant last year.
Yeah, well, she got pregnant last year. No, so I suppose it's been again. We don't get paid to do this. This is something we do.
We all work full time.
Yeah.
It's all in our free time or whatever free time we get between work, training, and other life things.
Absolutely.
So sometimes we might not get to an FAQ on our website, but like it's not anything, like we'll take everything on board.
Absolutely.
Like we've had people come to us with suggestions on merch or suggestions on other things, like competitions and stuff like that. And we've always taken everything on board and tried to utilize ideas as much as possible.
Yeah, it's nice to hear them suggestions from people as well too.
Yeah.
Like
It's and like that. It's when someone has a suggestion, it's great and all, but people need to understand, I suppose, that you're all working for free, and you have, like you said, you have full-time jobs. It takes a lot of time to get an idea moving and to get it over the line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just see us moving our merch. It's like I'm meeting in January. We finally got it printed in April.
Exactly.
So that was the new line you just brought out.
That was
So you're looking at 3 to 4 months.
If sometimes you can get it faster. It depends what's going on. Like if we're running loads of comps or we're competing as well and having to travel, it obviously impacts where our priorities lie. Not that we don't prioritize Strongwoman Ireland all the time, but say like Mary and Ayshea and Sharon all had UK's naturals this year, so that would have been more of a priority to train for that, to travel for that, and all that kind of stuff. So sometimes Strongwoman Ireland has to take a bit of a backseat, which means sometimes if we want to release new merch stuff or we want to kind of have something in our minds, it might take a little bit of a backseat, but we'll always come back to it and move on it.
We had still got another exciting T-shirt range that's got to come out, but we have to sit and do the work behind that. And, you know, and there's other things that we want to do, but sometimes like again
it doesn't happen overnight. Like a lot of it has to be kind of like agreed, because we're a committee. Not one of us just says we're going to do this. We have to sit down and talk about it, talk about logistics. Like we just hashed out our next comp at our last meeting there. And even there, it's like we all have to look at previous comps, look at our next comp, look at who we are targeting this competition for, and then going through weights and events and stuff. And that doesn't happen in an hour. Like that's a lot of us thinking behind the scenes, then bringing all of our ideas together to make it work. So while some people we're like, give us a week and we'll have it out, we're still genuinely working behind the scenes to push these things out. It just might take us a little bit longer because logistically, it just takes time.
We're working alongside you sometimes with competition, so we also want it to flow with GSP systems. So there's not, we're sharing resources a lot of the time as well. Yeah. So we have to take that into account when we're putting stuff together. So yeah, it's not just as simple as let's do this 5 events. This is going to be cool.
Yeah, it's like it's a Wednesday. We'll run a comp next weekend.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen like that. Yeah.
Cool. So I'm going to go to someone who hasn't spoken as much, Mary. There's 2 quiet ones here and 2 chatty ones, so I'm going to start singling you out.
Training has taken it out of me.
That's your fault.
I looked at Mary 10 minutes into our meeting and went, do you want to go and get something to eat? And she goes, food is not going to cure this.
So, what are your thoughts on the current state of affairs in Strongwoman in Ireland?
It hasn't changed a whole lot, I don't think, in the last 2 years. We've had pretty much the same people involved. There has been, I think, the addition of having like the natural route has been a great help. And then Irish Strength Cup as well. So like big competitions like that definitely do help. And there was a lot of success with the beginners comp last weekend as well. But yeah, it is definitely a challenge for people to like commit to the sport, which is like understandable. There's a lot of different factors.
Yeah, so go into that. What are the challenges you see for the sport?
Yeah, just keeping people in the sport. Like I mentioned earlier, there is a lot of the same faces. And yeah, it's hard to know like what is the solution or why people don't stay in the sport. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of opportunities, but it is just a difficult one to keep people in it. So yeah.
Anyone? Like, I'm asking for. I want to know as well. Like, does anyone have any reasons as to why you think that might be?
With women in sport, it's very difficult because there's this stereotypical role of women within the home. They're generally the parent, like the main parental role. They take on a lot of responsibilities. Not saying that men don't, but like stereotypically down the line, so that's kind of what happens. So when women want to try and get involved in a sport, there's always like that mom guilt as well. If they have kids, that they have to kind of spend time with their children, which takes away from like the hour or 2 hours they can spend in a gym. They feel like they should be at home or trying to logistically plan around their family. I think that affects women more so than it affects men, especially with women who they have to like be pregnant, which also will take out time training within sport, as I know. Then like rearing children, a lot of it does end up on the mother and on women to do that. And I feel like that has an impact. So like say we have like 25 women, core women in Ireland, 5 of them get pregnant. They're gone for a minimum of a year.
Yeah.
And then having to reel back and come up. Like that 5 women can make a huge impact on the entire population of strong women in the country. And then also there's other factors that come into play as well. Whereas men, with the men's side, it feels like they can kind of come in and come out as they go, whereas it's more of a commitment for women to kind of lock in, especially with families and stuff, to try and give that time and give that energy, because it's a lot of a commitment to give for strong women or any sport. Like it's a lot of training time. There's not just training, there's nutrition, there's like being like mentally available for it as well. Like they're big factors. And if you're also thinking about 10 other things to do with the family home and your family as well, that a lot of women are responsible for, that's a huge deal. And sometimes your sport and your hobby takes a step back because that other stuff is more important.
Yeah. I suppose the interesting side. Oh, sorry.
I know. I would say that like they really highlight that it's not just this sport.
Oh yeah.
Women in general, just it's. Yeah. You think after there's big drop off going into university. Yeah. Then there's another big drop off coming. Coming into your 20s. Yeah. We'll see a lot that are completely retired by the time they turn 30. Yeah. And then after that, then it's a few and far between.
Yeah.
I think as well the age group. I think it's one thing we were talking about last year was trying to hit some of the younger women, so the teenagers, like getting into transition year, because again, I didn't know strong women or any of that didn't exist when I was in school. No, I liked team sports to an extent, and I was always very active. But I'm not a team sport player. I get too pissed off with people. Yeah, if you're not pulling your weight and you take, so having strong woman as an option, I think is really good for girls who are dropping off at 15, 16, 17. Having an outlet for them when they're going through those exam period times when things are tough and hormones are all over the gaff, and giving them another opportunity to say like, okay, it's not just football or hurling or basketball. There are other options out there for you. And again, that's something that we want to try and hit, I suppose, is to get it to the younger girls, because then at least you'll have them for a period of years, hopefully, before they maybe do settle down for a while and then hopefully come back in the Masters. Because at the moment, our demographic is still so young in the terms of strong women. It's probably 7-8 years that we have a lot of Masters who probably had their children.
Yes.
And now we're getting, like, unfortunately, we have then that group now who are going to start dropping off with having babies for a while. But it's, where do we go either side of that, I think, to bring in the younger next generation?
I think as well as role models as well within the sport. Yeah. Specifically strong women, it's only coming to light now where the bigger names like you have for Lucy Underdown and you had for Rihanna Lovelace and you have for like Donna Moore, like these big names are really coming to light more now with social media is a big aspect in that. Whereas like Strongman World's Strongest Man has been around since the 70s.
Yeah.
And it's been a household name. Like every Christmas, everybody watches World's Strongest Man. So it's been there for young boys and young kids.
Absolutely.
And it's not been as exposed to women and girls. Whereas I think now we're getting there at that point. I think we'll also have a turning point on retention rates as well.
So do you think it's just going to be like more time? Which is
it's
just keep doing
a lot of women's sport, it is a time factor. Yeah. Not just
I
for
think,
us.
if you look at boxing, women's boxing, okay, so how many years has that been, has been in existence, and people don't realise it. It's been in existence for 20 years. Like Layla Ali, Muhammad Ali's daughter, has been boxing over in America for years, since I was young. So it's always been there, but it's taken, the past 5 to 10 years for it to become really mainstream. So for a sport, effectively, that's as niche as ours, it's going to take that time. But I think it's people like us, and then other women also getting involved and showing what they can do so that their younger siblings or their children see it. I don't think it's going to be something that happens kind of overnight. It is getting better. Like our beginners comp last week was a flipping smash.
Yeah.
It was so good. What, 22 women in the end?
22 women, yeah.
So we'd sold out completely, end up with 22 women. We always get a few dropouts. It's the same as the men's.
That's normal.
Absolutely normal, but end up with 22 women who absolutely smashed it and who I loved every minute. I don't think there wasn't one toxic or negative vibe. And I think we actually got a message through
before
someone saying,
before the comp had even finished, someone had messaged us and said how much they were enjoying the day and how wonderful it was and everything.
You think they just come up to someone?
Yeah, no, the same lassie actually come up to me, so.
Okay, right.
But they messaged our Instagram page before the comp,
Oh, nice
But
one,
I think another factor there as well, at the competition we had last weekend, the beginners comp, was there was so many children in the audience and young girls in the audience.
Yeah.
So I think, like, the more strong women comps we can have in the country, which we are having more of now, people are bringing their kids to competition, so young girls are seeing them. There's actually a masters athlete that was doing the beginners comp last week as well. His young daughter loves it, loves strong women, loves seeing it.
And he's actually made her some lightweight equipment, I think, so she can start training down in the shed in Cork.
Yeah. So it is slowly happening, but it's unfortunate that it just doesn't go as fast as men's sports do. But I think the age of social media is kind of speeding it up a wee bit for us as well, because like, how often do you see a woman deadlift over 300 kilos, and it's all over the internet now, and you can see it wherever.
But even Sonny Bradley picking up the stone, the full step that was shared on Lad Bible or Sport Bible or one of those.
Yeah.
So even the non-sport kind of streams are picking up on this stuff now.
Yeah, it's being more recognised and being celebrated more often, which then the younger generations are seeing more of as well. So not just in Ireland, but internationally as well, which will help build stuff in Ireland, because it'll all filter into us.
And then, Sharon, what would you like to see happen to the sport of strongwoman in Ireland specifically over the next few years?
I'd like to see more people stick at it for longer. Like literally what we were just talking about. I'd like to see in particular ones that don't just do it for that one Instagram post that they've done this competition. No, I'm being serious. That really peeves me off.
Yeah.
Like it really does. Like if you're going to do something like that and blow a big head in yourself about it and have everybody talk about you, well and good, but just stick at it.
Tell you how you feel, Shaz.
Like, yeah, no, but like it's very irritating when that happens, because they have no idea the work that has gone in behind for someone that has been doing it for years. Does that make like?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's just
What about the rest of you?
I would really like to see us, like what we're trying to do with our next comp, and the lads will see it there. We'll put the post out this weekend. Is one of the routes we want to do is to bring a more, I don't want to say elite level of competition, because I know that triggers a lot of people. So,
but a higher level.
A higher level of comp that will offer cash prizes for the women, right? Cash prizes for the women, because at the moment I think cash prizes for the women are extremely few and far between. I think you're the only promoter that's given decent cash prizes, and I think there's probably only
in Ireland.
In Ireland, yeah. Sorry, we're talking about in Ireland.
Yeah, just so.
Yeah.
No one gets
don't
salty.
get backlash.
Yeah, in Ireland, as we're talking about Ireland, that was the question.
Yeah.
So basically, to have high level competitions that eventually will bring other women from other countries to compete at a competition run by women for women. And again, it's not harping on about like, oh, women for women. Like it's literally, it is about us showing that we can promote, we can organise, and we can pay cash prizes, and we can give that opportunity to the Irish women to understand that they are exactly on the same par as any other country and every other competition that they might think to go to for cash prizes, and to bring that standard up. And also, as we said before, is to try and get this next generation of strong women to grow and stick within the sport. That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the international, like Irish women go bigger internationally. Like we've had some women go to worlds.
Bigger?
Like more of them representing. Like we have, obviously we've had women representing worlds at both OSG level and the natural level in the last more than 5 years, and then the last 2 years for naturals. But like to see more Irish women representing internationally, not just at world level, but even UK and Ireland level and European level. I mean, we definitely have the standard and the calibre to do it.
Yeah.
I just love to see more of them stepping up and pushing themselves out the boat and doing it.
Mary?
Yeah, it would be really nice, like especially seeing younger girls, like that strong woman is their like first option of sport, because the majority of people, they kind of go into it from another route. So it would be really nice to think that, like, and that's kind of when I think you know that, yeah, it's really out there, it's really well known, it's very popular, that like, oh no, I don't want to do camogie, I want to do strong woman, this is my sport.
Yeah.
I also want to see more people pushing it, like not just us.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing is
Like,
that,
and I know you've done obviously a good bit for it as well, but I think more people outside of here and outside of us pushing it.
yeah, supporting those competitions and pushing those competitions. Yeah.
Not that we don't get the support. But
No,
just
we
more.
do. We do get support.
Yeah.
But I think
More.
even sharing stuff,
Yeah.
like pushing out and sharing
We've
stuff.
spoken
and,
about it
yeah.
before in a podcast where I think it's really important for everyone, and there's some people, because I obviously see like what people share of our stuff, and like you see like the same people like from all over the country are really good at like consistently, they see a post on GSP Promotions or Natural Strongman or INSF and they just share it.
Yeah.
So I see that, and like some of these are like top level lifters that we don't coach, have anything to do with even,
Yeah.
but then like where's the other 200 people? Like come on, like if you want the sport to grow, and everyone seems to want it to grow,
Yeah.
hit the fucking share button.
I
Put it in your
think-
story.
yeah.
It's not a lot of effort, like.
No.
Yeah.
You know,
And I think that's the understanding of, again, is this whole understanding that it's not about us. I don't want you to share something so that you think, oh look, Aisha's great, or Kayla's great, or Mary's great. Share it because you want to. If people to genuinely turn around and go, oh, I want the sport to grow. I want strongman to be, it's my great sport, and you don't fucking turn up for people, or you don't put a post out there. Just share it. It's not about who you think is an organisation. Share it because it might actually bring someone into the sport.
Yeah.
Share it because it's actually going to give reach to
the sport.
the sport.
But also because
if you care about that much.
means something to you as well. Like if you're in this sport, you know how small it is,
Yeah.
and you know how difficult it is to rally people around and to like get people to sign up for comps. But share it because it means something to you as well. Like you want it to grow, you're doing it for a
Absolutely,
reason.
yeah.
Share it for yourself, not just for the organisation or the organisers doing it. I mean,
Yeah, and that's
you're
what-
going to
yeah,
benefit from
basically
it.
saying
Yeah.
I think sometimes there's that begrudgery or that mentality of like, oh, well, I'm not going to share that because they're involved. Fuck that. Share it because you want other people to get involved in the sport, that you do
Yeah.
actually want to grow, because a lot of people talk that game and then they don't actually want it to grow because you're shooting fish in your own barrel. So
Yeah.
Even like not coming from the social media side of sharing it as well too. What about even just writing an email to some sort of businesses to see if they'd be interested in sponsoring something, or just letting them know about it as well?
Yeah.
Like there's other different ways in
Yeah.
social media
And even
too, but
to
it's
link,
a massive
yeah.
way, like
yeah, to link it.
Yeah.
If you know that somebody's out there who wants to give sponsorship to something different, it's like, oh Jesus, I know of something that might be able to help.
Yeah.
Strongwoman Ireland, tag them in a post, show it to your friends, show it to whoever organisation or company might be looking for that little bit different. We got great exposure there last year with the seminar we did up in Dublin for Bloomsday.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was the most
Yeah.
random thing.
So random.
Very random.
But it was massive. It was exposure. It still
Yeah.
brought our sport and what we do to a group of people that probably had no idea, had never even heard of, that knew Strongwoman was even a
yeah.
thing.
shout
And
out to Conor Heffernan.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and that's all it took. It took
Yeah.
Conor Heffernan, who had an interest in strength sports, met us previously from doing stone lifting,
Yeah, stone lifting.
tied in with us and was like, I'm doing this thing up here, come up.
And I love
and
what
do
you're
it with
doing.
us.
Yeah, I think I can link this into Ulysses, which he did amazingly.
Somehow.
And you had all these people sitting there in like the dress of the day, like 1920, what,
It was
1900s
like,
garb.
yeah.
And we there throwing logs.
Logs.
And Thomas inch dumbbells. But it's stuff like that. If you know that, oh my God, there's something happening there that Strongwoman Ireland might be able to come up and do we'll make it happen. Like I said, we're really busy and we have lives, but we will make it happen if it means that we get to show what our sport is so that other people may get involved.
Yeah. We're very passionate about it, and I think that makes a big impact on it as well, yeah.
Yeah. You never know, it could be in the Olympics someday.
You never know. That'll bring a whole other problem.
What are your future plans for Strongwoman Ireland?
Well, short term, we have a comp coming up.
Yeah.
Did it?
October 6th.
Yeah.
Is it right?
Yeah,
October 6th.
Yeah.
We'll be running another beginners comp with a novice category in as well, so like a step up from beginners. But then we're also running a masters competition and an open weight competition, so anybody can sign up from not just Ireland, anywhere around, and we're offering cash prizes for that. For the first time, we're in the position to offer cash prizes, which is something we've also really wanted to be able to do, which is us giving back to the sport as well.
Yeah.
Can you go into more detail about the opens in particular, with like how much cash?
Okay.
Yeah,
the events?
yeah, we
So-
can, yeah.
Because I know you just spoke about this like 15 minutes before the podcast, so I actually have no idea
Spoiler
whatsoever.
alert.
So,
So let's get it out there.
We're only offering cash prizes for the open category, and it's €500 for the winner, €250 for second place, and €100
For the third.
for third place.
Nice.
If anybody wants to throw us some sponsorship, we might be able to increase those.
Absolutely.
Anybody? The events and everything will be announced by tomorrow,
But the-
including
the
entries.
Exciting
Well, do
event.
you want to just throw them out here now? Because this won't be released until for like another week.
So we have a circus dumbbell ladder for the opens.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna
let's
keep
go
this
for the
the
opens.
opens, yeah.
So a circus dumbbell ladder, deadlift for reps,
Choice of two.
a choice of weights on deadlift for reps. Thanks for that, Matty. A load medley, which involves
objects.
three different objects, including a keg, because Mary's
Mary
mad
loves
for them
kegs.
now.
Very mad for kegs, lads. Mad for kegs.
Max distance Husafel sandbag carry, and then the most exciting one, which they were so excited about this. Like,
You're going to hate
the
it.
giddiness of it is a replica Dinny handle hold max
I
time.
hate that so much.
Really?
I think them stupid handles should have nothing to do with strongman competitions.
Well-
They're so boring to watch.
Well, we're all happy for it, so good
Yeah,
luck.
yeah. But that's just me. Like, my
guarantee
opinion
you-
doesn't really matter.
So
I just don't have it in my
yeah,
comp.
I
so.
What if you decide like to go and see if there's any new stones out and about your part of the country, and you can bring them in and have different handles on them?
No, I think handles
He doesn't like it.
should
Just doesn't
not.
like it,
I think
yeah.
you watch someone walking with them, they're like crawling away. It's really boring. Like a really fast farmer's walk, head-to-head race is way more
Right, lads,
exciting.
so
but that's just my personal
We've
preference.
put
At
this
least-
out there now. Everyone's heard this, right? So we're going to do a poll because I've been threatening you with a poll for a long time, right? We're going to do a poll and see who's right and who's wrong. Are you excited for Dinny handle holds, right?
Dinny and nickel
Or-
handles should stay in Scotland where they were born and just be used there.
I agree with Maddie. I find it incredibly boring to watch.
If they're boring to watch, go back and watch
We've said
Giants
this
live
about, but
comp
it
with
has
them.
to, yeah, but that's your. We said this before. You can't always just think about the spectator either. You always also have to think of the athlete.
No one wants to hold them things in their
I
fingers.
guarantee you.
Yeah.
Mary
We're
does.
the house of group. Yeah. That's group strength.
We had this conversation yesterday. Remember?
Oh no, look, I know people do like it. It's a personal thing. I just hate it. I think it's crap.
I personally, I'm glad that we're doing it. It's something different that hasn't
Absolutely,
been done
yeah.
at all. I think in Ireland has it a Dinny
don't-
handle hold. I don't think so.
Not on the island. No, well, not in the Republic. I
Yeah.
think they do it up in the.
But like, I wouldn't
The
personally sign up for a comp if it was in it. I'd be like, a bit on the edge there.
Well,
up,
it's
Kayla.
interesting though that like obviously Kayla,
Shut up, Kayla.
well, it just goes to show like you are a real committee, because Kayla obviously doesn't like this event, but there's more than just
Yeah.
Kayla here to
Yeah,
make decisions.
yeah.
Like when my comp, it's never going to be in it because I make the decisions.
At least we know.
Dictator, like.
But at least we know Matty will never put it in his comp, so I'll always do his comps.
It's like, look, it's just a personal thing, but let's get past that
Yeah,
anyway.
because we
Yeah.
personally don't care.
So
what
that's
we
your final event. It's a hold with
Yeah.
that.
A hold, yeah.
Okay.
Well, the event or arrange it might change.
Well, we
but
were
that's
thinking
just
we were kind of going, oh, stones was thrown out there, but I know we don't like to do stones. But it's also in October. The shutter will be up. If it's a really bad day, you've got the rain coming in on top of you.
Yeah, it'll be held in GSP gym.
Yeah.
If you're like we know exactly.
Just in case you know, so it's going to be in GSP. Yeah. So we're trying to kind of say, okay, what can we use that's a bit different, and then we can change things up a little bit.
No, change is definitely good.
Yeah. I know, because I throw out like farmers are like, no, there's so many farmers. I love farmers, but like so many. Let's do something different.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Fair.
Matty's like, no.
So we've got our dumbbell ladder. What do you know the weights?
No, there's going to be. So we know the weights for 3 out of the 5 events. So we just need to equipment organization for the dumbbells, and then we're going to do testing on the Ginny handles, just so that it's very fair and we're happy with what we're doing. So for the deadlift for reps, it'll be a choice between 140 and 170 on a stiff bar.
Yeah, stiff bar.
The odd object loading medley will be I want to say a 90 kilo keg. Do we say 90 kilo? 90 keg. 90 keg, 70 odd object, and an 80 kilo sandbag. And then the Husafel sandbag carry is 100 kilo sandbag off a height.
Which we hadn't actually said that last event either, had we? So it's Husafel.
I did, yeah.
Did you? I didn't hear that bit. Yeah.
Mario, edit that in. I definitely said it.
Husafel the sandbag.
Carry.
Yeah.
And we kind of based that off of, I know I was saying to you about this before, when we looked at the Strength Cup weights and who actually came out, and nobody actually zeroed.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah. It's very doable.
We were like, okay, so we wanted something, that wasn't going to be too high, but was going to start a standard, because eventually, like, if we can run this every year and grow it into a nice big opens competition, then it can get heavier as the athletes grow as well.
Do you say you're taking that off a height?
Yeah. Because it's horrible to get off the floor.
The sandbags are much
awful.
lower than a regular steel Husafel.
And they fold in there.
No, I think that makes loads of sense.
We all have experience, except you haven't.
No.
But the rest of us have experienced the Husafel sandbag, and we were like, it's better. Yeah.
It's should just be a little bit better than trying to seeing someone fight to get the damn thing off the floor.
Because we don't want anybody to zero anything either. So at the same time, make it difficult, but make it fair.
We can actually say the novice and beginners events will be exactly the same as your beginners events. We're keeping them the same.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's log per rep, 15-inch wagon wheel deadlift, load medley, sandbag to shoulder, and farmer's walk.
Farmer's walk 3x10, isn't it, on the sandbag? So
made me think there as well.
Yeah. And the masters will be the same as the opens, but different weights. They won't have a choice of deadlift though. They will only just have a deadlift for reps.
Yeah, there won't be a choice of 2. It'll just be 1. Yeah. I think with the choice of 2, we saw that from the Strength Cup, women are probably more enticed to kind of, they don't know their own strength level. They don't want to zero an event, but if they have a choice, it makes it easier mentally going in, knowing like I can definitely do this 2 reps. I'm not going to zero any points.
Yeah.
And I just kind of
on the board here.
Yeah.
Sorry, did I miss something there? You're just going to have
for
one bar out there.
For the opens.
There'll just be 1 bar out there. Will it? And they have to have chosen beforehand, is it?
No.
There'll be 2 bars.
There'll be 2 bars, but masters will be 1 bar for reps.
Okay.
They're both for reps, but masters will be 1
but the
bar.
open weight they can pick on, like as they go out, are they going to do the 170 or the 140?
It's going to both be out there.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I think it's just like from watching the Strength Cup and seeing who was there. Like I knew some of them probably would have been grand doing the higher weight, but knowing that for them mentally knowing they'll definitely get reps this lower weight, I think it just adds a bit more confidence for them to sign up for these higher level comps as well.
Are you allowed suits?
Yes.
Everything that opens.
Go silly.
Just why not?
I suppose that is the immediate future for Strongwoman Ireland.
Yes.
What about long term? Next year, 3 years, 5 years? Any thoughts?
We kind of covered it a good bit in what we've said. Like I suppose obviously to grow
the sport.
Yeah, grow the sport is our biggest thing. But for Strongwoman Ireland, I suppose it's for the organisation to make as much money as we can
to support the growth of the sport.
So that Mary can buy a yacht.
She's the treasurer, so ongoing joke has always been that Mary's going to buy a yacht and we won't see her. She'll be off in Barbados or some Cayman Islands.
Really, if she took all the income from every comp in Ireland, she's not going to buy a yacht. It's not that good, lads.
Maybe a little canal boat somewhere.
I'd say like we still want to continue. Like we ran Ireland's Strongest Woman for the first year this year alongside the official strongman weight classes. I say we definitely are going to continue doing that long term. and grow that as well. Like we had 22 women sign up for that, which was the biggest Ireland's Strongest Women to date, which was huge, like for the sport and for us.
Yeah.
So to grow that even more down the line.
Yeah. And again, when we're saying about the funds, I do actually mean that, like, from a perspective that we could actually have our own kit if we needed it.
Yeah.
Have a bigger fund, like I said, eventually to be able to sponsor. So if Circa Foy decides to go into OSG Worlds, but I know Circa works all the hours God sends as well, no more than the rest of us, and she's gone, I just can't afford to do it. I can afford this much, that we could actually go, fuck it, there's your flights.
Yeah, yeah.
Because again, anyone who's kind of followed me over the years is I've had to fundraise for every OSG Worlds because there's not a hope, and I'm still ended up broke at the end of it. Like, so
I think
if
making
people
it
have to, if
accessible.
People, exactly.
Yeah.
If you can take some of that financial pressure off of people, it makes life a little bit easier. So they know that I can focus on training, I can focus on whatever I need to do. So I think making what we do more successful is going to help the other women.
And like by having Irish women compete internationally, it just comes back to Ireland again. Like it just grows. It's just a circle.
Yeah.
Like if we have more representation internationally, Ireland is more on the map, which means there's more focus on strong women, which means younger people and more people are going to want to be involved in it.
I think also.
I'm assuming that like Natural Worlds is around the corner here in Ireland. I'm assuming you're not funding people for Irish comps or comps that are ran in Ireland.
No, it's international.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
The
international.
further away, the better, I suppose.
Like we funded, I think 5 women
last year or
yeah,
over 2 years?
over the last 2 years, 5 women, and that was OSG Worlds, OSG Europeans, and there was UK and Ireland the first year.
so,
I think
yeah.
So we have like even like competitions over in like England and Scotland and Wales.
Yeah,
stuff,
as long as
we
it's
help
not
with them.
in Ireland.
But if it's in terms of like traveling from Donegal down to Galway, it's like, sorry lads, just
No.
Yeah.
no.
I'm assuming as well, like that, if someone is looking for funding through Strongwoman Ireland, they should probably need it
Yeah.
and not be like just looking for extra money
Just because it's
even
there.
if they have it. Like
Yeah.
it is, I know it's an expensive sport, but you know, if you have money, deal with it, I suppose. And if you are tight for money, come to us. Is that kind of, am I fair enough in saying that?
Kind of, but
Yeah, like
also
we don't means test it, like it's not like
like you
welfare
presume whoever's, we have an application form for it, so you presume whoever's applying for it is in need of it, you know.
And to be fair, like we've had we were saying we have to push it again because nobody actually really applied this year. So
just to remind it.
Remind them that it is actually there. So if you do need a bit of help, give us a shout.
Yeah.
We were going to put a post out anyway. By the time this podcast goes out, the post will be out anyway. But I suppose as well is I would really like us to be within the next 3 years is given some form of regular talks, like I said, in schools, in community groups, to really, and again, not just for the girls. Like there's a lot of young lads out there who could really do with having strong men in their life, or even powerlifting like we have it there. But they're not going to know the strength sport unless it gets brought to them, and it could stop them from going down a route that they shouldn't be going down, because they don't think there's anything else out there. But it's a good outlet, and you'd know about that as well. So about the gym saving you and stuff. Mm-hmm. No, but generally, like lads,
it's not about managing.
But for girls and guys, like I said, like especially disadvantaged areas, that's something as well. I really have in my head that I'd really want to get involved with. You know, boxing has played a great role in some of these communities, but again, not everyone wants to be a boxer. But people might look at strongman and go, "That's really cool. I'd love to do that." Like we've got a couple of youngsters that are in here now, and it's great to see that. And I'd hope that maybe if they're talking about it in school, but it doesn't always work that way. So if we were to be able to regularly be in transition years or going into youth reach or community centres, or I can't remember what the other ones are, just to get the word out there and to bring it to them. If we got 1 or 2 people out of that, or 1 or 2 youngers out there, it'd be.
But it's also trying to keep the committee going as well too, so that eventually whenever we retire from the committee, which is probably no time soon to be honest, but you have someone's there to kind of keep it going and take it over, that it's not just going to be, I suppose, a fad thing as people might think that it is.
Yeah. Keep it alive.
Yeah, keep it alive, really, yeah.
And have you any final words for anyone listening at home, guys?
tell everyone about what we do.
Oh, tag all your training videos.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, because
that.
tag your training videos.
Yeah,
so you can actually
we'll
have
share
content.
them.
Tag Strongwoman Ireland.
Yeah.
specifically.
Strongwoman Ireland, yeah.
We can't keep just sharing, guys.
Yeah. And Nick McGuire, I think we're
know.
the only two
Yeah.
that do tag.
I need to start sharing
Mary.
some.
Yeah, Mary could do putting a video up. I could do putting a video up.
I'm actually, I'm not even bleeding training at the moment, Matt. Come on.
Pull them from the archives.
The archives. Yeah.
Tag in posts,
Tag
tag in
us in
stories.
posts.
Because there's more content being
Absolutely.
For
shared.
us, yeah, because like we're not going to go out and just take your videos like just because we could. Like
And I
tag
think
us and let us know
the
you
other
want
side
us
is
to
that
have
we're
them.
not going to approach you for videos like that's. We don't have time to do that. So just tag us. It doesn't matter if it's a training video and you're in a building season or if it's a competition post. Just tag us in it.
Yeah.
And then we can get that out there, and it gets you a little bit of notice, and it also gives us content, so more people will see that.
Yeah. Follow us on our socials. Strongwoman
Send
Ireland.
on any suggestions?
Yep. Anybody wants to do a seminar with us?
Yeah.
Hit us up.
Absolutely. Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Apart from
Okay.
that, be sound.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
All right, folks, I think we're happy enough to leave it there. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thank you.
Like the channel, subscribe to the channel, follow Strongwoman Ireland. I'll put a link in the bio. Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.